All right, this is how I see this UFC card playing out. I'm aiming for a perfect card this weekend. Small wagers, big payout. In the main event, I'm going with the younger fighter, both large men. And the fight will most likely not go the distance, in my opinion. And one of them will more than likely get the KO. And I see it being Taliesin. If Derrick can't get an easy early KO at this point in his career at this age, I feel like he's probably just coming in for the paycheck more than for the competition or trying to get a title. I think those days are behind him. So if it's not going to be an easy win, then he'll just kind of fold up once Taliesin lands on him and he feels the power. Unless he gets in, you know, his KO blow before that. Next, I'm going to go with the younger fighter again, Gabriel Bonfim. It's just one of those age things, and Stephen Thompson has suffered a lot of losses lately. Against good fighters, I'll admit. But I don't like seeing that 42 years of age, and Gabriel Bonfim is supposed to be the better of the two brothers, of the Bonfim brothers, I believe. So he'll probably win this matchup, I feel like. Next, we got Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. You know, it seems kind of obvious with all these losses on Calvin Kattar's recent record versus all the wins on Steve Garcia's record. Steve is, taller, longer reach, younger, and just has good momentum coming into this fight. I think Calvin's fight injuries have finally caught up to him. I don't think he's ever going to be the same fighter he was. So let's go Steve. Next, I'm going Morgan Charrier. I like Nate the Train, but I don't think this is going to be one of those fights where he can just out cardio and then out dog his opponent. I think Morgan has enough striking ability and power to put away Nate. And also I think that I just got to go with the younger fighter again in this match. Morgan doesn't really gas out. So I think he'll be able to have the cardio to stick around in the fight. Next, we got Vitor Petrino versus Austin Lane. I'm going to go Vitor Petrino. I'm not going to overthink it. We know Austin Lane cannot follow a game plan. Like versus Mario Pinto. He was doing well until he decided to stand and bang. Okay, and Vitor lost to Dustin Jacoby, Anthony Smith. I guess those are understandable. But I think he'll come into this fight and fight a little smarter. And I don't think Austin Lane will be able to take him down and hold him down. Okay, yeah. Don't overthink that. Next. Instinctively, I say Tokos. Oh, people are going with Tafa. I don't recall if Junior Tafa is the better of the brothers. Sean Sharaf. Um, no, Sterling, Umar Sy, Myron Dennis, 19, Brian Jackson. Wow. Weird. I guess I'll stick with my Tafa pick. But they're heavyweights, so you never know. Chris Curtis versus Max Griffin. I kind of just leaning with Chris Curtis. Ooh, wow, I didn't realize Max Griffin was that old. Lost to Michael Chiesa. That is not good. Michael Morales is alright. Tim Means, Neil Magny. Yeah, it's got to be Curtis. I would say by decision. Jake Matthews versus Cheaty. Let me remind myself who Jake Matthews is. Francisco Prado. Phil Rowe. Francisco Prado. Michael Morales. A decision with Michael Morales? Darius Flowers. Wow, this might actually be a banger of a fight. Yeah, this dude just... Alright, KO. Jared Gooden. There's McKee. Michael. Albert. Wow. This is actually kind of tough. I'm going to switch. Don't know why, just... Tough. Where is this taking place? Actually, that might help my decision. Yeah, but we'll go with Jake Matthews for now. While I look up where it's taking place next. Lauren Murphy versus Eduardo Mora. Wow. Her nickname is Rhonda. Another girl just fought who was like the Russian Ronda or something. Yeah, we'll go with the younger girl. Such a large favorite. This girl lost 2 years ago. And who she win? Veronica Hardy 7 months ago. Denise Gomez. Yeah. All right, Mora. Should be relatively safe despite it being a woman's fight. Next, Kennedy versus Walter Walker. I would say Walter Walker by submission. Devin Clark lost by KO. Dustin Jacoby. Chris Barnett. Lucas Bresky. And this guy lost to Lucas Bresky? That is weird. Wow, I guess that's why the odds are the way they are. Just initially, I guess, yeah, I'll stick with Walter Walker. Then, Mike Davis. Wow, this is actually going to be a good card. A lot of heavyweight fights. And then we got Mike Davis. I'll stick with Mike Davis. Minus 900. This guy lost to Thiago Moises. Won again. Yeah, I'd go with Beast Boys. But 900. So, got to figure out another way to bet on this. Maybe a KO. Maybe a TKO. But we know he's got good ground game, so he could find a finish on the ground. Oy, oy, oy. Mason Jones. This one, Borchev. Nathan Levy. Okay, anyway, we'll figure that out later. And this one, I'm guessing it's Fatima Klein being a large favorite also. Dang. Is Melissa Martinez that bad? I don't think so. Elise Ardeline. Elise Reed. Yeah, I'm going to go with Fatima Klein. But I don't know that I like these odds. I can't recall much about Melissa, but I don't think she's just half bad. So, yeah, those are my picks. And let's see if this card cashes. Good luck to everyone else with your picks. Hopefully you win some big parlays. And then also, just real quick before I go, let me just look this up really quick and see where this event is taking place. So it's going to be a UFC fight night. And sorry, one second. UFC fight night. Derrick. Nashville, Tennessee. So perhaps there's not going to be too many Nashville. Who here is going to be from Nashville? Nate Landwehr? Massachusetts, South Carolina, Houston, Texas. Jacksonville. Then we got Vegas, Sacramento, Vegas, Texas, Florida. Yeah, I don't know if you might want to take that into consideration for some of these fights. Not often we get a American heavy favorite card. If it were to be any of these fighters that might have a chance of pulling it off, or has the biggest chance, could be I would say Calvin, perhaps. Nah, I don't like this. Anyway, I'm not going to dig too deep into this. Those are my picks. See y'all later.